Lil'Bug is our new kid in the Salmo family. Although it looks like a typical wobbler, in fact, it is more of a surface lure. In the Salmo offer, there are two sizes of this lure, 2 and 3 cm, with weights of 2.8 and 4.3 grams. They both have color versions designed to imitate various insects. Lil'Bug's bill is perpendicular to the lure's axis, so it's a shallow worker, diving no deeper than 1–2 cm. In fact, this lure should not dive at all, but work on the water surface by creating a V-shaped wave. This is what helps the angler to keep track of the lure and what helps the fish to register a tasty treat even from distance. Another excellent trait of Lil'Bug is its super aerodynamic shape. With a round silhouette, its size compared to its fairly heavy weight makes long casts easy. Our larger Lil'Bug is fitted with our Salmo Infinity cast system, a special design that increases the casting distance by almost 25%. Its incredible aerodynamics are especially useful when fishing for spooky fish that feed on the surface. That's usually when long casts are crucial in order to succeed. This short film is designed to show basic techniques for fishing with the surface crankbait Salmo Lil'Bug, the most typical places for this being shallow rivers and streams. To get the best from this lure, we recommend using the rod at least 2.75 meter long, a reel with a wide spool and multi-disc, accurate drag, and a good quality line, about 0.18–0.20. For attaching the lure to the line, we use a simple snap, but we have to be careful to use only the smallest sizes possible. A good example might be spin lock snaps made by Dragon, size 14. An even better solution is using one of the loop type knots. These enable the lure to work freely without the use of the snap. The main goal is to free the front of the lure from any extra weight that would prevent it from diving. In this underwater shot, we can see clearly that a wobbler tied with a loop knot stays on the surface. Casts should be made across or slightly downstream. Next, we raise the rod tip, close the reels bail, and we let the current drift Lil'Bug toward the near riverbank. If the current is strong enough, there is no need to reel any slackline. We use reel only when our lure stops wiggling. In places with weak current, start reeling in the slackline right away. We can also adjust the direction of the drift by swinging the rod sideways. Despite where we fish, we must always keep in mind that our lure should not dive, but always work on the surface. That's why we keep our rod tip high. So as little line as possible will have a contact with the water surface. Our tried and tested technique is a slight jerk of the rod tip during our retrieve in order to get rid of drops of the water from our line. Even this may cause our lure to dive. If the angler is careful to conceal himself, fish can strike Lil'Bug the moment it touches the surface, during the retrieve, and also right at the end when it's about to be pulled out of the water. Usually the strikes are very violent, explosive and stick in the memory for a long time. There is no need to worry about the lure's treble being too big. Even small chub can engulf the lure. So they are usually well hooked. Unfortunately, fish sometimes just follow the lure without striking. If that happens, use a smaller model, a different color, or a different style of retrieve. Unfortunately, despite our best efforts, we won't be able to hook all striking fish. But we should not to be bothered. After all, it is just part of the fun. Our next cast can always bring another day. Even if it doesn't always end with a hooked fish. Sometimes you will only get the slightest nibble. But the next cast, you can get hard strike and bingo, you were in. The adrenaline rush you get from surface fishing will be more than make up for the first few missed takes. Lil'Bug is effective on all fish that fit on the surface, mainly chub, eye, asp, but also perch, trout and pike. Go ahead and rediscover your waters with the supreme surface wobbler, the Salmo Lil'Bug.